Hello, and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. This time we are entering another planet, and it is the planet of Saturn. So let's just get cooking and find out what Saturn is all about, shall we? Excellent. Herbs of Saturn. And let me tell you, like AI is getting increasingly bitchy to me. Like I feel like increasingly irritated by it. Like it doesn't have any more intuitiveness about it. Like it's not like you can say, give me a thing of the herbs of Saturn. If you say I don't want any words or text, it doubles the words or text. Like it has, it's just irritating as fuck lately. So you have to say things like, give me pictures of herbs of Saturn with an actual Saturn in the back. Like you've got to be so specific. Here's the list of herbs I want to show. It's crazy. Anyway.
What do you know off the top of your head what like website you use? I was trying to create an AI picture the other day. I've never done one, and I couldn't find one that would create anything even close to what I even said like a picture of something simple like a 4-leaf clover, and it just kept giving me error messages. And like, do you know off the top of your head which one you use?
Yeah, I pay for the pro version of Chat GPT, and you have if you don't pay for the pro version of it, you don't get Dolly, which is like Dolly is their it's DALL-E, and that is their AI image generating that they use. Gotcha. And again, let me tell you though, I asked Chat GPT something and it like dicks around with me, and then I go behind the scenes and ask Dolly the same thing, and it gives me the fucking picture. So go figure.
Oh, weird.
I know.
Okay, cool.
There's like
I tried Chat GPT, but it was like I couldn't get it to do pictures, but that's probably why I would have to like pay for it.
If you want a picture, you can just tell me, like send me a text and say, I need a picture of this, and then I'll just send it to you. Like if you need for something, I'll just text you or email you the picture.
Amazing. Thank you.
Anyway, on to the herbs of Saturn. What is Saturn all about? So let's look at the planetary correspondences for Saturn. And let me tell you, I don't even know. I did not run through this all at once. So I like finished it and then did not look at it. So I hope it's right. So the element, like there's different people say different things. So Briggs says that it's water, and Brooke, who is the author of this herbal astrology, says it's earth. So I don't know. You be the judge. The deities is and do you know how to pronounce that for Cybele or Cybele?
I think it's like Sibylle or Kibble or something like that.
Kibble or Kibble. There's some plant that's like that. Oh my god, I cannot wait. Oh my, I will never remember it. But there's Kalanchoe.
Kalanchoe.
Yeah. So what is it? And there was like 10 trillion like ways you could parse that out. See, it's like, but it's spelled Kalanchoe. But see, Kalanchoe, exactly the same thing. So, Demeter, Hecate, Hera, Isis, Kali, Lua, and Lua was Saturn's cult partner and received the weapons of enemies killed in war. So like we're going to see this again. So we'll return to Lua. Nephthys, and then I don't know if that's Ops or Opes. It's Saturn's other partner who's associated with wealth and abundance. Rhea and Silesia is a Lithuanian mother goddess. Sedna, Skadi, which is a Norse goddess of bow hunting, skiing, winter, and mountains. Very interesting. The crystals and stones are agate, Apache tears, aquamarine, black tourmaline, garnet, hematite, iolite, jet, lapis lazuli, lava rock, lodestone, moldavite, obsidian, onyx, pearl, star sapphire, shungite, and tourmaline. The colors, and you can see some of why this is. So it's amber, black, dark brown, blue, gray, and indigo. So most of these, except for like maybe the moldavite, but a lot of these are represented in those colors. So maybe they just took the color associations. More correspondences. And do you like the picture, Miss Raven?
I do like that one. I
know. Saturn Raven. The metals are lead and pewter, which are pretty soft metals.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what, I'm not exactly sure why, but you know what, maybe it's because we think that like the rings of Saturn are solid, but they're really rather not solid. So
They're not solid at all.
no, they're just bits of like particulate, right? Like,
yeah, gases and stuff, I think.
Yeah. The animals associated are the crocodile, the crow, and the raven. Astrological sign is Capricorn, so that kind of would put it in the earthy realm if we want to go by that. Tarot card is the world. The day is, of course, Saturday. Saturn and Saturday. More correspondences. The organ is the spleen. The realm is thought. The humor is melancholic. The function is retention, and the qualities of Saturn plants are hot and dry.
I like the little moon rock in that picture.
I know, wasn't that rad?
I was thinking the same thing.
Cute. I know, I loved it. I kept it.
Nice.
So in your chart, so this is great. And you know what? I did not like see what my Saturn sign is. I meant to do that. Dang it. Now I'll have to cut this out because what is the Saturn sign in yours? I'll have to look mine up every single time.
I know. I always tell myself when I'm like finishing up my PowerPoint to get it ready, and then I always forget. I'm in Sag.
Ooh, interesting. So we'll keep that in mind. Well, do you know what yours is, Ross?
I have no idea, and I'm not even sure where I would find it at this moment in time. So
I could probably find yours easier than I could find mine, which is hilarious. Let's see. I've got to actually look mine up.
Oh, while you're looking yours up, you want to hear about an interesting thing that happened in the shower the other day?
Sure. That sounds great. Tell me all about your shower experience.
Yes, tell everyone.
It's nothing great like sensual,
but still.
So as you guys both know, I believe shower is like my most kind of active meditative space. Like if I'm not sitting or laying down, then like shower is my other most common place that I kind of meditate, where I'll there's something about obviously being like in my element, and then I also put it in the darkness, so there's just like a natural light coming through the window, but it's relatively dark. And just like I don't know, doing self-care-ish things like washing my hair and washing my body, it just kind of like snaps me into that space, that meditative mindset, and I don't even try normally, it just kind of like pops in. And the other day I was working on my BOS, and because I'm like rewriting all my stuff in there, and so after working on that for a couple of hours, I went and took a shower, and I got like this image that popped up in my head just out of nowhere of something that I like. When it popped up in my head, I was like, I need to put that in my book. And it was so weird. That's never happened. I'm not like a sigil-y like person, but it was really interesting. But the symbol was so it's like two triangles denoting like as above so below, right? And then one pointed up, one pointed down, and then in between them is like this rectangle. And then in the rectangle horizontally is dots for the chakras, and then in between, like in the four corners of the like pyramids, are just lines that come out representing like the elements. So this was like a super like quick random drawing that I did right when I got out of the shower.
Here, let's stop sharing. Hold on, let me stop sharing.
Oh yeah, okay. So that I didn't forget. It's not like really well done, but I just wanted to remember what it looks like. But it looks like that.
Ooh, I love that. That's awesome.
And there's like, you can't see it, but there's like the dots in the center. But yeah, it was so weird. I was like, that is so weird. That never happens, like symbol type things. But anyway, so that was my shower experience.
Very nice.
Well, that's a very nice one. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I love that. Well, awesome.
So what is your Saturn?
My Saturn is in Gemini.
Nice.
Yes. So talk. Opinions, different variety.
Yeah.
So Saturn is, so now we'll see what it's about. So Saturn is the taskmaster of the zodiac. Its influence in your astrological chart represents areas of your life where you face challenges, restrictions, or hard lessons.
Oh, interesting.
I know, huh? So it's about discipline and structure. So Saturn governs the structures and systems in your life. It asks you to create boundaries, establish routines, and develop a strong work ethic. So that's probably accurate. Like my opinions and my Gabby voice, like I probably need to learn something. There's probably a lot. So responsibility. This planet highlights where you need to take responsibility and mature. It often brings challenges that force you to grow and develop self-reliance. So it's also about karma and lessons. It's linked to karmic lessons, meaning that the challenges it presents are often tied to past actions or life themes that need to be addressed. It's about learning from mistakes and overcoming obstacles. It's also about authority and ambition, because Saturn rules over authority figures and your own sense of authority. It represents ambition and the drive to achieve long-term goals through hard work and perseverance. Oh my gosh, I am so bad at this. No wonder I'm all like I'm all like up in the air. Like all of these things, I'm like, I'm doomed. I'm like, seriously, like I have like no like grounding, no, like I'm like all airy and no sense of authority.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect this to like my Sag placement. So Sag is like often about like, I mean, you know, what little I know, it's like inquisitive, like wanting to just consume like knowledge and learning.
Let me, you know what else? I know, you know what though? There are like hard lessons, and because Sagittariuses will just walk. Like they're known for just like they like just if they're like pissed off, like they just won't show up. They just won't show up for parties. They won't say a word. They'll just be like, yeah, I'll be there. And then they won't be there. They'll just be like, fuck, I don't want to do any of this. Oh yeah, and then a full sense of like morality behind all that fun behavior. Like Sagittariuses have this full blown like morality and idealism. Anyway, so it could run towards dogmatism probably if you like, or yes.
You know what's also interesting, perhaps tying into this, I'm not sure, but what comes to mind is like the really difficult time that I had when I was first getting into like magical space. About, we've had conversations about this before, but where my like very analytical research based mind is very combative of like the like magical kind of intuitive properties. And so I kind of almost needed to, I don't know, like not be so driven and like glued to the analytical aspect of it, kind of. I don't know.
Exactly. And not only things that you have to struggle with, but like this is like also things where you feel like your life is disciplined. So, or you are more disciplined in your life. So, okay. Anyway. So Saturn rules over authority figures and your own sense of authority. It represents ambition and the drive to achieve long-term goals through hard work and perseverance. It's about fear and limitation. This planet, it's all about the fears, limitations, and areas where you feel restricted or held back. Like maybe you feel you want to travel. Do you want to travel, little lady? Because Sagittarius is like all about like the wanderlust. And so like things that like maybe feel held back by like not being able to satisfy like some little nugget of wanderlust.
Yeah.
However, overcoming these fears leads to significant personal growth. It's also about longevity and endurance. So Saturn is associated with time, and it's, you'll see Saturn like Saturn itself, like the god Saturn, we'll talk about, because that's super what it's all about. Did you say something, Roz?
I did not.
You did not. It just
I thought you did too. How weird.
It was like a feedback loop.
Yeah. What did I say?
Nothing. It just sounded
Darn
like
it.
I was trying to break in. Exactly. So it emphasizes patience and the idea that rewards come with effort. It's also about wisdom and maturity, which is hilarious. Another thing, like I'll never grow up like this with this like Gemini, like freaking like like literally like 12-year-old humor and 12-year. Ultimately, Saturn's influence helps you gain wisdom and maturity. It teaches you to build solid foundation in life and be realistic about your goals and capabilities. So the god Saturn, look at that picture. Literally,
I like that picture.
it was another fight. So because it kept making it in gray, it kept making Saturn gray. And that's because and then I'm like, why? Like, you can even ask, I'm like, why do you continue to make Saturn gray? And it's like, because it represents like wisdom. I'm like, really? Like, is that what you think? Because I don't. So just make it colorful. And so that's what that's the colorful Saturn that I received.
It's very Lisa Frank. I love it.
I know, I agree. It's like Lisa Frank Saturn.
Little Lisa Frank Saturn right there.
So Saturn is the Roman god of agriculture, wealth, and time. He's associated with sowing seeds. He's often depicted with a sickle or a scythe, and that's like representative of his agricultural domain. But that was another thing I want to do. I kept wanting to make him Neptune. I kept putting him with a trident. I'm like, not with a trident, please. Cease, trident.
Not Neptune.
Exactly. We're not there yet. So Saturn is credited with bringing a golden age to the world, a time of abundance, peace, prosperity when he ruled. And during this era, people lived in harmony without the need for laws or punishment. It was like a good time. In fact, the festival of Saturnalia that was celebrated in December was held in Saturn's honor. And it was a time of feasting, gift giving, reversing social roles, reflecting the equality and abundance of the golden age. So another co-option of this time, like Saturnalia, of course we know that like there were definitely Christmas-like events that were happening in December before like and Saturnalia is one of them. So there we go. So now we talk about these consorts. So he has two consorts. One is this, I don't know, Ops or Ops, and then Lua. And they represent the two aspects of his influence. So like Ops is about wealth and abundance, and Lua is about destruction and death. And so Lua, like she took like the weapons of those that were killed in war. So now the plants. So let's like get real down nitty gritty about the plants. So Saturn plants, many Saturn plants, they look stark or austere. They could be woody, they could be thorny. They often have a rough texture. So then the growth habit. These plants, they grow in hard or challenging environments. They reflect Saturn's themes of endurance and survival. They could be also just slow growing plants. And the color that's associated with Saturnian plants are darker shades. So deep greens, browns, blacks. And the medicinal uses. So I found like two kind of like odd medicinal uses from like very different places. So I even had to like go back in and say like, is this real? But it is. So I'm not exactly sure like where to go with it, but Saturn rules over bones, teeth, and the skin. So many Saturn associated plants used in traditional medicine, they treat the areas like arthritis or skin diseases or gum disease or dental problems. So they also, and this would lend almost to like this, I don't know, maybe not water, because they regulate the body fluids. And like this, like they contribute to cooler and drier conditions within the body. They consolidate and firm up tissues and bodily secretions, and they constrict and stabilize. So magical uses. In magical practice, Saturn plants are often used for protection and setting boundaries and grounding Earth. They may also be used in spells or rituals involving endings or banishing or dealing with grief and loss. And then this is the master list. And we have like like this insane master list now, because I found this like that there's like one site, and I'll tell you what it is. So it's that site that will sell you all the interesting resins and things that you can't get anywhere else. It's that like Alchemy Works. In fact, I have it in the this Alchemy Works. So like they like sell here. I'm gonna stop the sharing because I want to tell you. Everybody should go there, and everybody should go there if you want any strange resin, or like I think we got the indigo there. I think we got like a bunch of stuff. Like I think maybe not the indigo. It was like the labdanum, and there's like a whole like mess of like odd things that are really kind of difficult to find that I picked up at that place. So highly recommend Alchemy Works, and they have like these master lists based on planets that are like amazing. So I took like our list and I took their list and I kind of fitted them together, and so that's what you got is that list, that big old hunkin' list. So anyway, thank you for joining me to learn about plants of Saturn, and we will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diaries.